Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Salim Hassania and I'm your host here on the program From Birth Until Death. Now in our previous episode we were talking about the naming of the baby. So we're just going to continue and finish this topic inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Shaykh, we mentioned about the naming of the baby and the types of names, choosing good names, and we just touched upon who should name the baby.
Yeah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. First of all, this is naming the baby is a matter related to both parents.
Okay.
Generally speaking. So both parents should select a name, a good name for their child. However, if there is a disagreement between both of them, then it is the right of the father.
Ah, it's the right of the father.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here I would like just to mention quickly that this is a common question that I receive from some sisters in the West. They said, okay, that their husbands divorced them.
Okay.
And they said that I'm not happy with my husband, he was abusive, etc., etc., and I gave my son the baby without his father's approval.
Okay.
And this is wrong.
Okay.
This is completely wrong.
Giving the name without the father's approval.
Without the father's approval.
Okay.
And the father has the right to change the name of the baby if he was not consulted and he did not give his consent.
All right.
So, and this is a matter of ijma'. All scholars agreed on this, that it is the right of the father. And it is not a matter of exchange. The father got this right because he looked after his mother.
Yes.
Or because he was present at the time of delivery.
Yes.
No, it is not a matter of exchange. Allah gave the father the right to name his child. Full stop. And this is a matter of ijma'.
Okay. So there's consensus agreement between the scholars that this
is the right of the
father. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Now when we're talking about the babies, after the naming, the next thing that normally comes to mind is the shaving of the head.
Yes.
Now, there are often lots of misconceptions and we often hear lots of different opinions and lots of different things. So what should we do with regards to shaving the head?
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We mentioned in Hadith Samurah that the Prophet ﷺ said, كُلُّ غُلَامٍ مُرْتَهَنٌ بِعَقِيقَتِهِ Each ghulam is attached to his aqiqah.
Yes.
And it will be slaughtered on the 7th.
Yes.
And he will have his head shaved.
Yes.
And he will be given a name.
Yes.
So, shaving the head of the baby is sunnah, generally speaking.
Okay.
Generally speaking, shaving it. Not cutting the hair.
Okay.
No, shaving it.
Shaving it, okay.
And you are a doctor, and I read so many studies regarding shaving the head of the baby. And they said it is very, very beneficial.
Yes.
Ibn al-Qayyim also, he was a doctor, as you know, Ibn al-Qayyim. And he had his book, Tuhfatul Mawlud.
Yes.
And he mentioned so many rulings regarding the newborn babies.
Yes.
It is a very unique book, very good book. And it is the main reference in this subject. And he mentioned the number of benefits for shaving the head of the baby.
Yes.
So it is a confirmed sunnah.
Okay.
Most of the scholars agreed upon this. However, maybe you are referring to the shaving the head of the girl and shaving the head of the boy.
Well, yes.
Is it sunnah for both of them or not?
Yes.
Okay, now, see, the Shafi'is and the Malikis consider it as sunnah for both of them.
Okay.
Hanabila, they said it is sunnah for boys only, and it is not sunnah for girls.
Okay, not sunnah for girls.
Yeah, this is the opinion of the Hanabila.
Okay.
And it is also the opinion of the Hanafis. Now, they said that the Prophet ﷺ said, كُلُّ غُلَامٍ. You remember when we mentioned the hadith in the first time, and I was very careful in translating ghulam.
Yes, the wording of it, yes.
Yes, because kullu ghulam is not each newborn baby. No, ghulam refers to each newborn baby boy.
A boy, yes, specifically
Boy,
to a boy.
male in particular, ghulam.
Yes.
Is not jariya.
Yes.
So they said that the hadith refers to the baby boy,
Yes.
not the baby girl or the children in general.
Okay.
This is one thing. The Hanabila also added one important point, which is that the asl, the original principle is that women or females, are not allowed to shave their heads.
Okay.
So they said that this asl is a firm rule.
Yes.
We cannot break that firm rule unless we have another frame rule,
Okay.
firm rule.
Firm rule.
Okay. So anyway, as the other scholars said, no, the hadith is general, and here ghulam, it doesn't really mean, or the Prophet ﷺ did not intend to say a baby boy, because the Prophet ﷺ mentioned the other rulings that are related to who? To boys and girls
General,
as well.
yes.
And also they mentioned that there is a narration in Al-Muwatta that Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha, the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ, she gave birth to Al-Hasan and Al-Husayn and Zainab and Kulthum. So Zainab and Kulthum,
Yes.
just for information, Zainab and Kulthum. Kulthum is the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ, and Zainab is the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ. But
Yes.
also there is Zainab, the daughter of who? The granddaughter of the Prophet ﷺ, and there is Kulthum, the granddaughter of the Prophet ﷺ, and their mother is Fatima radiallahu ta'ala anha.
Yes.
And they said that when she gave birth, when she used to give birth to her children, she used to shave their heads.
Okay.
So they said this is general.
Yes.
And she used to also to take the hair
Yes.
and to weigh it in order to see the weight of that hair and give a sadaqah equal to the weight of that hair. Sadaqah of fidda, of silver,
Okay.
okay, equal in weight to the weight of that hair.
Weight of the hair that was being shaved.
Yes.
Okay.
So they said that this means that it is sunnah for both,
Right.
for boys and girls.
Okay.
Inshallah, the matter is flexible. So, and if it is done for the girl, inshallah, that is not a problem, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay? And as we said, the Shafi'is and the Malikis, they believe that it is sunnah for both. So, inshallah, it is not a problem at all.
Okay.
And also, as we mentioned, that it is good, or it is, you can say that it is sunnah to have that hair, and the weight of it, what is equal to the weight of it in silver,
Yes.
to be given as a sadaqah, which will be very minimal.
Sure. And when now we're talking about the shaving of the head, is there any particular time in which or when one should do the shaving?
Jazakallah khair. Yes, we forgot this point. Jazakallah khair. Yeah, the hadith of Al-Hasan and Samura, the Prophet ﷺ said, what? يَوْمَ سَابِعِهِ. So on the 7th day, he will be given a name, and he will be what? His head will be shaved.
Okay.
So the sunnah is to shave the head on the 7th day.
Okay.
So in the 7th day, we have 3 sunnah.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing is what? To slaughter the aqiqah.
Yes.
The second thing is what? To shave the head.
Yes.
And the third thing is to give the name.
The name.
This is the best.
Yes.
Of course, it can be done before that, and it can be done after that.
Okay.
Now, some people say, can we shave the head before that? We say, no. Wait until the 7th day.
Yes.
And if it happened that you could not wait, alhamdulillah, it's all right. If it happened that you missed the 7th date,
Yes.
The 7th day, then it should be okay, inshallah. It is not a problem.
Okay. And in particular in England, in some communities, it's often very common you hear that maybe they've shaved on the 7th day, but also there's a continually shaving many, many times after that. Is there anything that...
Continuously, doing it continuously, I don't know about that. It is not confirmed as a sunnah.
Not confirmed
I haven't seen it as a sunnah.
Okay.
Now, is it good or not good? From a medical perspective, people like yourselves
Yes.
should be more qualified to speak about this.
Yes.
But as far as it is sunnah, or whether it is sunnah or not,
Yes.
Allah alam, it is not a sunnah, definitely.
Not sunnah.
Okay?
Okay.
By the way, I forgot to say that, the 7th day,
Yes.
how do we calculate the 7th day?
Yes, that's important.
Okay? They said that if the baby was born on the daytime, then the 7th day will be counted starting that day.
Starting that day.
So,
okay.
for example, if the baby was born on Friday. Friday, the daytime. So
Yes.
we will count Friday itself. So we'll have Friday,
Yes.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be what?
Seventh day.
The seventh day.
Okay.
However, if the baby was born on at night time, at night time means after Maghrib.
Okay.
So let us say that the baby was born Monday, but after Maghrib.
After Maghrib. Okay.
Which, you know, from an Islamic perspective, Monday after Maghrib is considered to be what?
So you're
Tuesday.
Tuesday now, yeah.
From an Islamic perspective.
Yes.
So they said then, don't count that night.
Okay.
So Monday night will not be counted. So you will count what? A Tuesday.
Yes.
And from an Islamic perspective, Tuesday starts from what? From Maghrib.
Maghrib, yes.
So we will count a Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is
Monday,
what?
seventh.
The seventh.
Okay.
That then on Monday we should have these three sunnah.
Okay. And just coming back slightly, you mentioned about the shaving of the head and giving the weight in silver. Is this something particular for silver, or can it?
Yeah, all of the scholars said that it is in silver, in particular,
Okay.
not in gold.
Not in gold.
And it is a matter of very few grams,
Okay.
maybe 2-3 grams. And by the way, again, as we mentioned this, I don't know, sometimes in some communities and some brothers and sisters, they like to take things in a very, you can say, mathematical way.
Okay.
Or they have this engineering mentality.
Yes.
I don't know, maybe because we are exposed to maybe digital life.
Yes.
We have computers, we have on and off,
Yes.
okay, lights, and we have this kind of lifestyle. So we start to think like this
Thinking
way.
becomes like
So they said that, it was difficult for me to take the hair and to weigh it.
Yes.
Because I did not find the right tool.
Yes.
I said to them, come on, sisters, just estimate. Okay, 2-3 grams is not a big deal.
Yes.
Okay, and then just give it as a sadaqah.
Yes.
It doesn't mean, there is nothing holy
Yes.
in weighing it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is not
Sure.
ibadah, weighing it itself.
Yes.
The ibadah is the sadaqah.
The sadaqah. Sure.
Okay.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh, for taking the time to explain this. We're now going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with this topic of shaving, and we're looking at other aspects of the baby. Jazakumullah khair, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to this program, From Birth Until Death. Before the break, we were talking about the shaving of the head. And now we're just going to move on to the other issues that are related to the newborn baby. Assalamu alaikum wa
Wa alaikum
rahmatullahi.
assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, before the break we mentioned about the shaving of the baby and the differences between the boys and the girls. Now, another important issue is obviously the circumcision of the baby. So we'd just like you to just start off by mentioning the certain rulings that pertain to this.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. Circumcision is a sunnah.
Okay.
Is a sunnah. I'm not talking about a sunnah versus wajib. I'm saying that it is one of the symbols of al-Islam.
Okay.
And that's why, and that is taken from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mentioned in Sahih Muslim, no doubt about its authenticity, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, al-fitra, look, fitra is 5. And the first one was al-khitan,
Yes.
circumcision. Now, al-khitan, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned it in general, whether females or males.
Yes.
And they also mentioned that, and it is in Sahih al-Bukhari, that the first person to be circumcised is Ibrahim alayhi salam, and when he got himself circumcised, when he was at the age of 80
years old.
80.
80 years old.
And Allah Jalla wa Ala commanded him to be circumcised, and then he circumcised himself by an axe.
Okay.
And there was a narration that Ya Ibrahim, that Allah Jalla wa Ala told him, Ya Ibrahim, why did you have yourself circumcised by the axe?
Yeah.
He said, Oh Allah, I did not want to delay your commandment.
Okay.
And so this is one of the Islamic symbols. There are other hadith regarding circumcision. Some of them are weak, some of them are little bit weak.
Yes.
But this is the most important hadith.
Okay.
And even the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum used to have this circumcision as an identification in wars for those who are Muslims,
yes,
and for those who are not Muslims.
A symbol of an identity.
A part of the identity.
Yeah.
And of course, when they take the captives and they want to identify who is an adult, who is not an adult, who is Muslim, who is not Muslim, and they did not have any other way to confirm this, then they would check who was circumcised and who was not circumcised.
Okay.
So it is a very important Islamic symbol.
Yes.
And you know that, I'm sure that you know more than myself regarding the benefits of circumcision.
I mean, in particular, I had to do some research actually about this, and we found that there were many studies that have been conducted, particularly in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And out of those studies, I think over about 80% of them showed that circumcision, with regards to various illnesses, various diseases, was one of the main reasons that prevented these diseases from spreading and from happening.
Diseases in general, or the sex-related diseases?
The sexual-related diseases.
Okay.
So, for example, HIV and AIDS and various other diseases in that area. And in fact, circumcision, even to this day, is the most common surgical operation in the world.
Subhanallah.
Most common surgical operation in the world. And there are many studies, many people have done lots of research into it, even considering that circumcision would be something as a means of preventing various diseases, just in itself.
Subhanallah.
So this shows us the importance of the research going into it.
See, now when we talk about circumcision, of course, the main question is to be asked is, what about female circumcision?
Yes, yes.
I would like to mention here a very important point, which is, first of all, it is sunnah for both.
Yes. Sunnah for both the male and for the female.
Both, yes.
Okay.
And for females, you know the hadith of Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, when she was talking about the sexual relationship and what makes ghusl wajib.
Yes.
She said, إِذَا جَلَسَ بَيْنَ شُعَبِهَا وَمَسَّ الْخِتَانُ الْخِتَانِ. When the circumcised part touches the circumcised part,
yes,
then the ghusl becomes wajib.
Okay.
So they said that this hadith clearly indicates that it is sunnah for the female to be circumcised.
Yes.
And by the way, the scholars differ in terms of female circumcision, whether it is wajib or sunnah. And some scholars consider it as wajib.
That it's an obligatory act for
females.
Oh.
Shafi'is, in particular, they believe that it is wajib for males and females.
Okay.
Hanabila, they believe that it is wajib for males and it is sunnah for females.
Okay.
Other scholars, they consider it sunnah for both as well.
Okay.
None of the scholars say that it is even makruh for females to be circumcised.
Right.
I am saying this because many of our brothers and sisters in the West, they say that it is against the human rights.
Yes.
And maybe you have heard that some intellectuals, they spoke negatively about female circumcision.
Yes.
And some of them, they said, oh, it is not Islamic. We know Islam, we read Quran, we read the Hadith, and this is not Islamic.
Yes.
And we said, you misunderstood the point. And there are a number of studies here and there. And some of them try to say that it is un-Islamic.
Yes.
It is not from Sharia at all. Why? Because, unfortunately, they want to please the West. And you know that in some Western countries, female circumcision is illegal.
Yes.
Like in Britain.
Yeah, in the UK, for example, yes.
Yeah, in the UK it is illegal.
Yes.
And in fact, it is illegal to do it in the UK, and it is illegal for a UK citizen to have his daughter circumcised.
Yes.
Even outside the UK.
Yes, I remember recently there was an article about this where some people have been prosecuted even for having this
yes.
female circumcision.
Yeah, because they consider it illegal.
Yes.
Now, they say that it is against the human rights.
Yes.
And I would like to respond to this, and in particular to our brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Listen, male circumcision itself was considered to be illegal in some countries, in some European countries. I don't know whether it is still the case or not. I remember almost 17 or 18 years ago,
yes,
my brother-in-law used to live in Denmark.
Yes.
And he had his new baby boy.
Yes.
I was visiting Lebanon. He brought his son to be circumcised in Lebanon.
Yes.
I said to him, why didn't you have him circumcised in Denmark?
Yes.
The way I understood it from him at that time, that it was illegal.
For baby, this is for a boy.
For boys.
Boy, yes.
Okay? So now, after they discovered that it is a very healthy practice, they said that it is legal.
Right.
Okay? And by the way, I remember that I performed Hajj a few years ago with a doctor who attended a conference regarding some diseases in Sahara Desert, as you said.
Yes.
And he said in the beginning of the conference, the head of the conference stood up and said, thanks to Islam, thanks to Islam, thanks to Islam 3 times, because Islam promotes this circumcision for, of course, they were talking about males.
Yes.
Because, as you said, it reduces the HIV rate, infection, etc.
Yes.
Okay? So, if now we admit that it is a very healthy practice to be done for males,
yes,
who can tell us that at one point we might discover that it is a healthy practice for females
exactly
as well? Because it was illegal for males.
Yes.
Then they found that it is beneficial for males.
Yes.
So now it is illegal for females.
Yes.
It might be, they might discover that it is a healthy practice for females as well.
Yes.
So we as Muslims should be confident of what Allah Jalla wa Ala reveals.
Yes.
We should be confident of the sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now to practice it, not to practicing, this is something else. If we do not do it, or if we, for example, we don't want to violate the law of the land,
yes,
it doesn't mean that we negate it.
Yes.
We have to be careful.
Yes.
So it is illegal in the UK, and I have no reservation, and I mentioned this in a number of lectures. I said, yes, it is illegal here, but it is sunnah.
Yes.
I cannot deny that it is sunnah.
Yes.
All scholars, this is a matter of consensus.
Yes.
As we said, some scholars believe that it is sunnah, some scholars said, no, it is a little bit even more than sunnah. It is wajib.
Obligatory, yes.
Obligatory, okay, for females to be circumcised.
Right.
So this is the female circumcision.
Okay. So for the brothers and sisters in the West that are living in this environment, what should one do?
Well, if it is illegal,
yes,
then it is illegal.
Then it is illegal.
They might be persecuted, as you said.
Okay.
Okay. Then it is their decision. If they like to be persecuted, if they bear the consequences,
sure,
it is up to them.
Okay.
Okay. But we have to make it clear that it is sunnah.
Yes.
And in some countries that it is illegal, and they have to be careful. It is illegal to be done in the UK, for example,
yes,
and to do it for any UK citizen.
Yes.
Or, as I understood even from the law, that if you are a UK citizen yourself,
yes,
it is not allowed for you to do it for even non-UK citizens.
Right, okay. Jazakallah khair for this information, Sheikh. You've been tuning into the program From Birth Until Death. We've come to the end of another episode, and inshallah, if you join us with the next episode, we'll continue this discussion with circumcision. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.